Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first session live streamed here for DSBK Middle East Championship. That's right, it is officially begun here on two wheels. We've already had some on-track action earlier today, but here we are for the NGK Spark Plugs race weekend round number one, and it's great to be here with the DSBK Middle East Championship. The Golf Pro cars are just making their way back into Parc Fermé and into their pit garages, and there you can see preparation underway for the first qualifying session for DSBK Middle East Championship here. We have a total of 11 riders who will take to the track, and they're separated into two separate classes. We have modified and we have the super stock. We've got some familiar faces, we've got some new faces in the championship as well. Saskia Tataro returns once again, so does Sidel Salati, both of them running in the modified category on the number 5 and 11 respectively. Then we have Johan Gauss, who also returns from the championship last year on the number 18 bike, followed by Tony and Simon Reed in the modified. And on the super stock category, new face to the championship, Dmitry Kochanov on his Kawasaki ZX 636 on the number 31 in the super stock category, with Mohamed Shamsia, the rookie from last season, returns for another shot at what could be his first title in the DSBK Middle East Championship. Yuri Nekrasov returns, as does Firas Abughanim on the number 33 for Farusa Racing in the super stock category. And there is his bike as you see him, but Firas is nowhere to be seen at the moment, just getting into the zone, preparing himself for this qualifying session. He's going to be one to watch. Here's Firas. There is Tony. There's no second name for him on my screen at the moment. We'll call him Tony from now on his number 8, as the team give him a quick debrief on what's about to happen here, and just some final checks underway before they head out onto the track. And of course, the 11th rider that we didn't speak about is Lionel Henry, who will be on the 47 on his ZX 636 Superstock for Powerhorse here at the Dubai Autodrome. So now that the cars from Golf Pro Car have come into Parc Fermé and their respective pit boxes, we'll be underway soon enough, for the DSBK Middle East Championship, qualifying to set the field up for what will be the first race. Two races today for the DSBK Middle East Championship, 12 laps apiece. The first race will start at 11:40 here local time in the United Arab Emirates, but before we start the race, we'll be down on the grid talking to a number of the drivers, and hopefully we will get to meet the man who is running the championship as well, a former rider himself, Nasser Saeed, who will no doubt get a chat with him. Hopefully we'll have him up in the booth as well later on during the races. There is Firas Abughanim though, getting ready to jump on the bike, and he'll be certainly one to watch out for here. As we said, two races for DSBK. The second race will be held later on today at 3:10 here local time. And there is the number 39 rider, Mohamed Shamsia, a rookie from last season. Learned how to race against some of the best in the region, but not just the best of the region, from around the world as well. A lot of our riders here have raced across the globe, including South Africa, the United States, right here in the Middle East, countries surrounding us here as well, and many, many more. A wealth of talent in the field as well. Great to see an international field as well here in the DSBK Middle East Championship. We're excited to get things underway. The riders are excited to get things underway as well. Just final preparation here before the session officially starts. It should go green at 9:35, well, we've gone past that, so I think it will be just a few more minutes before the pit lane goes green, and then we'll see the riders make their way onto the national circuit configuration here at the Dubai Autodrome, just 3.56 kilometers in length. Again, they'll be using the half of the back straightaway, and they'll cut off to the right through the club link, so the track will stay the same throughout all of the races that we have here this weekend. I don't know how the riders are able to see the screen and keep their eyes on the road as well. And I was speaking to some former riders earlier during the week on what it's like to race on two wheels. It's a lot different to what it is on four wheels. You really have to think of what's around you, and you have to think of what's ahead of you, not just one corner, but the next corner after that as well. You have to constantly be looking around, and it's just that you just have to get yourself in the zone here, and you see all the riders have different ways of how they do it as well. Some might be talking to their race engineers, some might be talking to their friends, other riders, some might just sit in the corner all by themselves just to get them calm, to get them in the zone and prepare themselves here for even just a qualifying session, as there is the 31 rider trying to put the garage door up so he has a little bit more space to get out. That is Dmitry Kuchnov. One of our new riders this season is the 31. Was that even his garage? Yes, it is, because that's not his bike, though. That's the 15 bike next to him. Dimitri's bike is somewhere else. There is another new face to the championship. That is Tony, who is on the Yamaha R6, number 8, in the modified category. And sponsor for this weekend, Warren Yachts. Now, there is another rider preparing himself. That is the number 15 rider. That's Simon Reed, another one of our new faces here in the championship, hailing from the United Kingdom. Has raced in the United Kingdom and in Spain. It'll be his first time racing here in the United Arab Emirates, and racing alongside some of the best in the region here. So a total of 11 riders will take to the track here for a 25-minute qualifying session. The lights will go green at the end of the pit lane at 9:40 here for qualifying for the DSBK Middle East Championship. And then, of course, it's 25 minutes that will set the field up for our race that's scheduled to take place at 11:40 today, which will be a 12-lap race. So actually qualifying is longer than the actual race itself, as Mike's been pushed out of the pit garages now. Final preparations and checks underway for all of our 11 riders. Great to see DSBK here as well this weekend. After a number of successful rounds last season, now we have a full-fledged championship. And of course, this year, exciting news, because we won't just be racing here at the Dubai Autodrome, we'll be also racing at the Yas Marina circuit as well this season, which is fantastic. In all the years that I've been watching motorcycle racing here in the UAE, I've not seen it race down at the Yas Marina circuit. I'm really looking forward to that in a few weeks' time. So moments away now from the green lights turning on at the end of the pit lane. A new set of tyres there for Tony on his number 8. Now I wonder if that's the team trying to take the sticker off, or they're just going to keep it on to show that he has the new tyre. Looks like they are trying their best to peel it off, but of course stickers will be stickers. Not going to come off cleanly. It's going to take some time to peel that sticker off. And all the riders there just patiently waiting to get this session underway. They've already had a riders briefing. They've actually had no sessions today. Now, they should have had practice yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, they did. They had 2 test sessions yesterday, but it's been some time since the riders have been on track here. We haven't seen them at all this morning. We've had qualifying for the Gulf Radical Cup, warm-up for Pro Car, and of course now qualifying for the DSBK Middle East Championship, excuse me. And who will be on pole position? Well, it's anybody's guess, I would say, from previous rounds and previous series of the championship. Saskia Tatara will be one to watch out for in the modified category, along with Sidar Salati, and of course in the super stock, Yuri Nekrasov and Firas Abughanim, certainly 2 to watch out for. But of course we cannot discount any of the other riders that we have here this weekend. It'll be very interesting to see who will be on pole after 25 minutes. Mohamed Shamsia is one also to watch out for. Was with us for a couple of rounds last season as the siren blares down in pit lane, and that signifies that the green light is on, and we've now gotten this session officially underway. The riders will set off, then we'll have one sort of out lap, and then we'll see the time start to tick in as soon as that first lap is completed by the riders. As Tony prepares himself right at the tail end of the field to give himself enough room around the Dubai Autodrome. You can see just in front of him is Firas Abughanim on the 33 bike. Very easy to spot Firas Abughanim as well in that orange jumpsuit. Different bike livery though to last year's vibrant orange shade. This time it decided to ride with a plain white Yamaha R6, excuse me, for Firas Abughanim. as the outlap has now officially begun for our 11 riders. Actually, to make that only 8 so far, so we haven't seen the final 3 work their way out. Sasuke Totaro, Anthony Garvin has gone out, so that's the full name there for just Tony on my screen. So it's Tony Garvin who will make his way onto the track right now on the number 8. Seidar Stoleti, Simon Reed, Johan Gauss, Dmitry Kuchnov, Firas Abouganim, Mohamed Shamsia have all made their way out onto the track. Now, who have we not got at the moment? Lionel Henry has not made his way out, neither has Simon Reed, if I'm not mistaken. No, Simon is on track now at the moment as well, doing his outlap. And I've got 11 names. Okay, we'll figure that out in a moment, as the outlap is, as I said, underway here for the 9 riders who have now made their way onto the track. So that means just 2 riders have not gone out, including Lionel Henry, who will be on the 47 for Power Horse on his Kawasaki ZX 636. Now, working their way through Sector 2. Some riders might be a bit further back, but now the first rider comes across the line to complete the first outlap, and that is Simon Reed, who makes his way out there with a rather quick Sector 3 time there of 19.210, but his times have not officially begun. They will begin this time round, though, as Johan Gauss, Dmitry Kuchnov, Sasuke Totaro, Seidar Stoleti, Firas Abouganim, and the rest of the field now work their way across the line, including Mohamed Shamsia. Yuri Nekrasov is the man that is furthest away from the tail end of the field. As we look at the number 15, that is Simon Reed. He was the first man across the line to complete his outlap. And let's see what the first lap time will be here for Simon Reed as he works his way through Sector 2 right now. As a number of riders now working their way through Sector 1. Now across the line there was Yuri Nekrasov, who's shown 6th on our leaderboard. There is Yuri Nekrasov, as he said, just made his way across the line, so he's now on his official first lap here around the Dwaradrome in qualifying. Let's see what he can do on his first lap, but it'll be Simon Reed will be the first rider to come across the line, and he's now made his way through Sector 1. Quickest through the first sector, Seidar Stoleti with a 45.124 for the Qatari rider. As they work their way through Sector 2, another quick sector there for Saeed. Simon Reed, though, is the first man across the line with an 18.705 in Sector 3 and a 134.276. But now the rest of the riders will start making their way across the line. Firas Abouganim working his way through turn 16 as we speak. Across the line now comes Seidar Stoleti with a 132.509. Purple through Sector 2 and Sector 3. Yuri Nekrasov's actually gone purple through Sector 1 this time round. Ivan Martinelli was not on my list in front of me, but is shown as not starting here already. Simon Reed, second fastest. Firas Abouganim, though, third quickest. The Lebanese rider there with a 136.683. Then we have Tony Garvin in fourth position overall with a 137.853. Then we have Mohamed Shamsia with a 138.463. There is Tony Garvin, Anthony Garvin. On my screen in front of me, I've just got Tony, and then on the timing screen, we've got Anthony Garvin. I must check with him which one he prefers, as he is looking to improve his lap time here. He's inside the top 5 at the moment on the number 8 with a 137.853. He is just over a second behind this man right here, Firas Abouganim, who makes his way now through the club link on his second outlap here. Quite a long session here, actually, for the DSBK Middle East Championship here. A 25-minute session of qualifying. Simon Reed, though, across the line, improves his lap time with a 133.143. Puts Yuri Nekrasov now down into third position. That'll be good enough for the front row, right in the middle of Stoleti and Yuri Nekrasov for the time being. But Firas Abouganim across the line now. What can he do this time? Moves up in a second position. Goes the Lebanese rider on the 33. Then we have Anthony Garvin, followed, and in front of him is Mohamed Shamsia. Anthony moves up a position, past the man that's just in front of him. And Mohamed Shamsir goes down to 7th at the moment. Sasuke Totaro moving up into 4th position overall on his Kawasaki ZX-6R. I kind of missed the sound of the Ducati he had last season. A much deeper grumble from that, but of course the Kawasaki still lightning quick here for Sasuke Totaro. Fastest in modified is Seed Al-Salati, the 600cc category. Firas Abou-Ghanim runs wide through sector 1, and that is just off of turn 3. Now he is able to keep going, so maybe just missed a braking point there. And there were a few other riders around him as well. Now this is Mohamed Shamsir that we're looking at. He was with Anthony Garvin. Now Anthony does not look like he's up the road. He's actually dropped back from Mohamed Shamsir. So I wonder if maybe Garvin and Abou-Ghanim, excuse me, got maybe a bit too close there through sector 1, and that's why Firas went wide through sector 3. Sorry, turn 3, excuse me. Not through sector 3 just yet. Getting a bit excited here, ahead of myself here. Simon Reed moves up into 2nd position in the overall qualifying order here, and 2nd overall in the modifies. The British rider, excuse me, has experience in both the UK and Spain. That is Firas Abou-Ghanim. We have a first rider in the pit lane. It is the Qatari, the man who leads the field at the moment in qualifying. The number 11 of Seed Al-Salati, ahead by 1.5 seconds. Laps 2 and 3 have been removed for bike number 18. That is Johan Gaas, who has had his lap times removed through turn 16 for track limits. And here is Mohamed Shamsir. Has he improved his lap time? He is still 7th overall, just behind Anthony Garvin. Now it looks like Anthony Garvin is coming to the pit lane. Indeed he is. Firas Abou-Ghanim, I think, is coming to the pit lane as well. Or that is just because he was off in turn 3. He might be a little further behind than first expected, but it looks like Abou-Ghanim, the 33 rider, is coming into the pit lane. Yuri Nekrasov now goes 2nd fastest with a 1:32.345, 1.1 seconds behind provisional pole sitter at the moment. But that's still good enough for the front row of the grid for the time being, and the gap in the middle between Simon and Saeed. There is Sasuke Totaro, working his way down the back straight. Now, I did see you briefly looking behind him through turn 5. Now, I wonder if he saw something there, or he's just having a look to see if anyone is behind him. There is the number 15 now, Simon Reed, the man that's currently 3rd at the moment in qualifying. New to the championship, but not new to motorcycle racing around the world. Has a wealth of experience and is now bringing his knowledge here to the Dubai Autodrome. And is racing and qualifying against some of the best here in the region. Just over 15 minutes remaining on the clock for Seed Al-Salati, the Qatari rider who sits in provisional pole with a 1:31.177. He is 1.2 seconds ahead of Simon Reed, who now sits 2nd. Now, does that mean Yuri Nekrasov has had a time deleted? Bike 20 is now being shown as having lap times removed, and that indeed is Yuri Nekrasov. So that puts Simon Reed back into the middle of row number 1, and alongside him will be Sasuke Totaro, who's now made his way into the pit lane as well. After we did see him adjusting his gloves, I think Johan Gaas has come into the pit lane as well. Dmitry Kuchnov has gone across the line. He is 9th fastest at the moment with a 1:44.289, and the only rookie in the field by the looks of it is Dmitry. So despite saying we have some new faces in the championship, they do have a wealth of experience elsewhere, so not classified as a rookie outright. So only Dmitry Kuchnov is the only rookie, and he's in the super stock category as well. Seed Al-Salati back out on track now on the number 11. And that is the rider we're currently looking at here at the moment on his outlap. Can he push that time a bit further away from Simon Reed, as Simon still circulates here around the Dubai Autodrome, bringing the gap down to now just 9/10 of a second, separating the top 2 with a 1:32.160. Edging closer to the 1:31 mark is Simon Reed as well. Sasuke Totaro is the man that will sit on the far right of the front row of the grid. As we once again look at the Qatari on the back straight now. He'll take the sharp right up through the club link and onto the bowl as he's about to complete his outlap here after a quick trip to the pit lane to make a few adjustments there to see if he can get some extra time on track to if you can push that pole position a little bit further away. You can make Simon Reed and Saskia Tataro's time a little bit more difficult. Across the line comes the Qatari. He's the only rider hailing from the GCC here in this weekend's race, but not the only rider hailing from the region. Of course, Firas Abu Ghanim from Lebanon. Representing the Arab world here, so two riders representing the Arab world here in our first qualifying session for the DSBK Middle East Championship. There is the man who currently leads this session, Simon Reed, into the pit lane and is second. Saskia Tataro has gone back out, Firas Abu Ghanim has gone out, and Yuri Nekrasov have all gone out as well. Yuri Nekrasov has had some times deleted, more times being deleted though for Yuri Nekrasov. This is now lap 3 and 4, and that will be why he is now shown as 5th rather than 2nd as he was earlier before. Firas Abu Ghanim and Saskia Tataro have both gone out of the pit lane and across the line. And now on a flying lap again as we watch Saeed Al-Salati work his way through the club link. And there is Firas Abu Ghanim, the Lebanese rider. Very easy to spot him from a mile away in his orange jumpsuit. And I guess the white livery bike also helps quite a fair bit as well. The rest of the field sporting much darker tones besides Saeed Al-Salati, who is also in a white jumpsuit as well. Now, that time round, Saeed was quickest through Sector 1 and Sector 2, going purple through both sectors. And it indeed actually is a increase of time between Simon Reed and our pole sitter, because now it's gone up to 1.2 seconds. And the Qatari has officially dipped his toes into the 1:30 bracket, sitting now 1.2 seconds up the road from the British rider of Simon Reed. Saskia Tataro, though, what can he do now in the remaining 11 minutes of this session? Also, what can this man do right here? Firas Abu Ghanim working his way through turn 16. He's currently sat in 4th position. He's on the 2nd row of the grid provisionally, but he'd like to be on the front row of the grid. As there he is across the line. Now, that was an improvement for Firas Abu Ghanim, but not inside the top 3. Saskia Tataro, not an improvement there, a 1:32.909 last time round. That is a 1/10 of a second slower compared to his personal best so far, but that keeps him in 3rd place. Yuri Nekrasov, though, will be the next rider to come across the line. And will he improve his time here? He does, and he moves himself back onto the front row of the grid provisionally here in the DSBK Middle East Championship. Pole sitter once again working his way through turn 16. Is he going to make it even harder now for Simon Reed, Yuri Nekrasov, Saskia Tataro, Firas Abu Ghanim and the rest of the field to catch him? A 1:35.750. He was 5 seconds off of his fastest lap so far. Now, Dmitry Kuchinov there across the line, who said the only rookie in the field. Lap times deleted for rider number 18. Turn 16 track limits there for Johan Gauss on his Yamaha R6. The South African there being pinged for track limits. As we look at Yuri Nekrasov at the moment, this seems to be a bit of a break for him now. He's pushed a bit more, and at least with this longer session that he has here, and all the riders have actually, they have a bit more of an opportunity to go into the pit lane multiple times and adjust the strategy and the setup of the car, of the bike, excuse me, to their liking. With still 9.5 minutes remaining on the clock, this will give Yuri plenty of time to adjust the bike a little bit more here to get the lap time that he'd like to have. Currently sat provisionally now 4th as Firas Abu Ghanim is across the line with a 1:32.299. As Yuri, and there is Firas Abu Ghanim, who's gone off again Now, where has he gone off? Because that is not a part of the track where he should be. I wonder if he's just taken a shortcut here and aborted this lap. Indeed he has, because that's the back straight that we're looking at. And now that was through turn 2 by the looks of it. He decided to stay off track. Now this lap will be completely aborted because he cannot use any of that runoff area for an actual lap time after going 3rd fastest. And Yuri Nekrasov now makes his way into the pit lane. Back with Seidar Saleti here on the number 11. There is Yuri Nekrasov. Meets the team there. We'll give them some feedback on what to adjust here if he decides to go out again, although it looks like job done there for Yuri Nekrasov. He'll have to settle for the 2nd row of the grid for the first race of the DSBK Middle East Championship. But for this man right here, pole position is within his grasp. 1:37.21 on lap number 8 for the Qatari rider, working his way now onto the back straight. He'll take the sharp right turn onto the bowl and through the club link he will go. Will this be another quick lap? Not quite. 44.009 through sector 1. No personal best, no purple or green here for Seidar Saleti. So a bit of a cool down lap here before he goes into the pit lane, presumably. As another rider comes out. Now this could be, I think this might be Johan Gares, because we've not seen him on track for quite some time. Can we see a number? This is a number 15, excuse me. And that is Simon Reed, the man that currently sits in 2nd position at the moment, alongside Seidar Saleti, who decides to stay out one more time. But Simon Reed, what can he do this time round? He'll have his out lap, then he'll have a flying lap, and he'll try and catch the Qatari Seidar Saleti with a 1:37.21. He sits 1.4 seconds back from pole position, the number 15 of Simon Reed. Firas Abouganim a further 1.5 seconds back from Seidar Saleti, but a 1/10 of a second off of Simon Reed. Yuri Nekrasov 2 seconds back from our provisional pole sitter, with Saskia Totaro 2 seconds back is the Italian, currently in 5th position, making up that middle position on row number 2. Then Anthony Garvin on the number 8 sits in 6th position on the 2nd row of the grid, excuse me, in that 3rd position, all the way up against the pit wall. And then it is Mohamed Shamsir, Dmitry Kuchnov, who is still circulating, Johan Gares sharing row number 3 provisionally. Of course, we still have over 6 minutes remaining on the clock, which means we have more than enough time for the order to change. But who will be the man to take away possible pole position from Seidar Saleti? Will it be this man right here, Simon Reed, or would it be Firas Abouganim if we see him out again? I think Yuri Nekrasov is done in this session so far, as Saskia Totaro will make his way into the pit lane. So only 4 riders currently circulating to make that 3, with Saskia Totaro now in the pit lane. So we have Seidar Saleti, provisional pole sitter, Simon Reed, who currently sits in 2nd, and then Dmitry Kuchnov. I think Dmitry has probably been out the longest so far as well, but of course, when you're a rookie, you're trying your best. You want as much track time as you can get to ensure you can be as far up the order as you can. And there across the line is Simon Reed and the pole sitter. There they are together. Front is Simon Reed, behind him, pole sitter Seidar Saleti. Ideally what Simon would like is to be the other way round, and that way he could follow Seid around and see where Seid is braking, accelerating, etc. He's leaning a bit more in comparison to himself as they work their way through sector 1. These are our top 2 so far. You can see the gap that Seidar Saleti is closing up on Simon Reed. It's tighter line there through the corner for Seidar Saleti as well, as he works his way through turn 4 and 5. Up now into the hairpin, and then they'll go onto the back straightaway. Very quick back straightaway as well. Not too long is it here, because of course we have the turn off into the club link area. As keeping an eye out there on our top 2. Simon Reed, 44.549 through that first sector, quicker than Seidar Saleti, but look at the gap. Seidar Saleti is bringing that down between the 2 of them through sector 2. Now, Simon was quicker through sector 1, but what about through sector 2? Will they be on par with one another? A 29.225, But Siadar Salati quicker there by 2/10 of a second. What about those through sector 3? A very quick sector 3 as well, mind you. It's about 2 corners, 15 and 16 by the looks of it. Through the final corner they come, and they'll come across the line here. Simon Reed with a 132.160, so no improvement. It's a 132.262 last time round, but the Qatari with a 131.795, and closing up on the man that sits in second position, we have Saskia Totaro has come back out. You just saw a glimpse of him there. There he is, and he's latched onto the back of these two, and that'll be great for Saskia to join in on this as well, because of course he would like to be back on the front row of the grid. It'd be a great way for him to start the season as well for Saskia Totaro. Always one to watch out for. Currently slotted in the middle position on the second row of the grid is Saskia Totaro. Now, through once again, the final corners before that back straight for Simon Reed, who has done another personal best through sector 1, but Siadar Salati is quicker through that first sector by 6/100ths of a second. Up through the club link, through to sector 2, go our top 2. Now, of course, for Saskia, this won't be a flying lap. This is his out lap, so the lap time won't count, but at least he's had enough time to see what the two in front of him are doing and kind of adapt the way he's going around the track as well, to see where he can gain some more time and provisionally be a bit further up the road as well, where he'd like to be on that front row with these two right here. So Simon Reed in front of Siadar Salati, a 132.022, so it is an improvement for Simon Reed. Brings the gap down to 1.3 seconds between the two of them, but still, that is 1.3 seconds between these two. Saskia Totaro, a 3:28.573, and that is Siadar Salati aborting that lap off into the runoff area through turn 2, and leaves Saskia Totaro to follow in the draft of Simon Reed, the man who sits in second position, and his first time out here in the championship, the DSBK Middle East Championship. Firas Abugano, I don't think we'll see him back out, so he might have to settle for third, but what can Saskia Totaro do here? Yuri Nekrasov also not coming back out, so it's only Saskia Totaro, Siadar Salati and Simon Reed, but I have a feeling the Qatari might come in this time round. Simon Reed now working his way down the back straight, up through sector 2, through the club link he goes, and into the bowl. No one in front and no one behind him at the moment. Well, Saskia Totaro is a little bit further back. You just saw him through the shot there, through the club link. But what can these two do here? No green sector for Simon Reed, nor for Saskia Totaro either. Both yellow through sector 1 and sector 2. No improvement from those two there. There is the provisional pole sitter. And there is not enough time left on the clock. Simon Reed has one more chance now as he comes across the line, as does Saskia Totaro. What can they do here in the final stages of qualifying here for the DSBK Middle East Championship? The 31 has stayed out as well. Dmitry Kuchinov, I think he's been out basically the entirety of the session. He may have just gone into the pit lane very briefly, but he is really getting as much track time as he can, learning each and every corner, and of course learning from some of the best in the Middle East as well is Dmitry. And into the pit lane has come the provisional pole sitter. So Simon Reed, Saskia Totaro and Dmitry Kuchinov, the only 3 riders left on the track. What can Simon Reed and what can Saskia Totaro do as well here? We shouldn't really discount the rookie as well, although it is his first qualifying session here in DSBK Middle East Championship, but of course he's a little bit further back from these two. Across the line there goes Dmitry Kuchinov. 10 seconds off of the pole sitter's time, but more importantly, he's 1.7 seconds up the road from Johan Gauss with a 1:49.09 for his personal best, and that's Simon Reed there who has aborted this lap. I think he has. So he will have to settle for second. But what can Saskia Totaro do? He's done a 44.578 through sector 1. What can he do through sector 2 this time round? Now he should be making his way. Well, he's gone through sector 2 now, so we should see him pop into view as that brings an end to qualifying. And no Saskia Totaro through the final corner. So there you have it. Seed Salati, Simon Reed, Firas Abughanim will share the front row of the grid, followed by Yuri Nekrasov and Satsuki Totaro with Anthony Garvin alongside for company. And then we have Mohamed Shamsia, Dmitry Kuchinov and Johan Gauss who will share row number 3. The 9 riders who will take the start here of the DSBK Middle East Championship. What a great way to start it will be for Seed Salati, Simon Reed and Firas Abughanim who will be on the front row of the grid. There it is, Satsuki Totaro on your right-hand side of your screen, and then you just saw Simon Reed there locking up the back wheel as he's going into his pit box. But here, the last man out left on track, and the man who pretty much has done every lap so far in qualifying, Dmitry Kuchinov. He's done a total of 14 laps so far. A mammoth effort, from the sole rookie in the field, as you said, getting as much track time as soon as possible, and he's going to take the checkered flag here at the end of qualifying here as he's across the line. Does he improve on his lap time on the final lap? A 1:41.878. His best lap time of 1:49.09 will keep him in 8th position here. And on the third row of the starting grid, he'll start right between two veterans of the championship, Mohamed Shamsir and Johan Gauss. And of course, he's got the rest of the field to admire and follow in their footsteps. Well, that brings an end here to the qualifying session for DSBK Middle East Championship. What an exciting qualifying session has been. Seid Salati, the Qatari, takes pole position, but we joined on the front row of the grid with Simon Reed and Firas Abughanim. Yuri Nekrasov, Satsuki Totaro and Anthony Garvin will share the second row, with Mohamed Shamsir, Dmitry Kuchinov and Johan Gauss will share the third row of the grid. And hopefully Ivan Martinelli, we'll get to see him during the race later on today. The race will start, the first race for the DSBK Middle East Championship will start at 11:40 local time here. So we have 2 more sessions to go before the first race of the day for the DSBK Middle East Championship. And it would be great to see some racing action here from our 9 riders. Hopefully 10 we'll see out there later on. But up next we have Golf Pro Car qualifying, and that'll be a 20-minute session after the warm-up earlier on today. But before we go, we can of course check out some highlights here from the DSBK Middle East Championship, as we see the sole rookie in the field, Dmitry Kuchinov, working his way around, slowing down. Even though there's no one around him, he is of course doing the what he should be doing and warning those around him that he's slowing down and entering the pit lane as well. Even if there's no one around you, better to be safe than sorry. You never know what will happen. As into the pit lane comes the final rider, and there he is right now after his first qualifying session in the DSBK Middle East Championship. He's got to be happy with that as well, sitting in 8th position. And now we'll check out some highlights here for the DSBK Middle East Championship qualifying for race number 1.